Welcome to the making of a DM. Confession time. I've never bought my Ferrari, my Rolls Royces, my other cars, nor my houses. This one's going to shock and awe you. So with that said, let's get started.
I'm more Kevin's I'm more Kevin's deal. I'm here to help and teach him what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question more Kevin's when he step in the door. He's closing deals. It's time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker.
Hey there, it's your boy Mark Evans, DM. Another beautiful day hanging out here in Kirtland Hills, Ohio, in the treehouse. It's nice and brisk, about 35 degrees, fall, lots of cool stuff going on. I just want to take a minute, as I always do, and say thank you so much for leaving all the amazing feedback and 5-star reviews over on Google. Today's show is going to shock you. I'm going to apologize in advance. I may have misled you, and that's never my intentions. Today's show, as you know, as you heard on the intro, is confessions. I never bought my Ferrari. I never bought my multiple Rolls Royces. Never bought any of my cars, nor any of my houses. This one's going to sting. This is going to go against everything you thought you knew. And I'm going to share that with you here today. Before I do, it has been a hell of a week. It's been a long one. As I'm recording this today, I'm getting ready to head off at 5:30 in the evening to an amazing charity event for an organ donor charity here in Cleveland, Ohio, with 4 other business owner couples, me, my wife, and then them. And the reason I share that is I want you to understand is we have a duty to give back. I try to support as much as I can in multiple facets. This is an organ donor. I've done stuff in Haiti this year. We've done stuff for the Operation Underground for children. Lots of stuff behind the scenes for homeless and everything in between. But as I'm talking to you today, I'm excited because my neighbor across the street, these are semi-wealthy people, and he's like, hey, we should get a limo. I said, yep, I'll call my buddy up. He's my driver. His name's Kirk. Call him Captain Kirk. And we got Kirk. I messaged him, said, hey, man, can you do this? Here's what we're looking for. Nice Sprinter van, whatever. He's like, sure. Let's call it $1,500 for the night. And my buddy Chuck across the street is like, let's split it. All four of us, couples or whatever. To me, that's funny because I don't split bills. I never have. I've never been a fan. I mean, listen, if you're scheduling something and it's like $5 million and, every party's going to generate revenue, and that's different. That's a business. But I was like, Chuck, I got it. He's like, no, you can't do that, man. That's insane. Please don't, whatever. And I was like, that's why I want to do it, because I don't have to. I want to. And you don't expect it, right? So I love giving back and connecting with great people. It's like one of my favorite things I get to do in my life. Worked really hard to get to where I'm at, even though I've never bought my Ferraris and Rolls Royces and all that. But it's neat to do. I love to see their face. I love to just connect with them and all that. And these are guys that easily could pay for this thing many times over themselves, so it's not that. All right, enough about that. We hired 6 people this week. A couple companies hiring people left and right. I hired a high-level consultant for my website. They're going to come in and do some cool SEO and cleanup and updating and all that good stuff. Something I've kind of slacked on a lot over the years. It's interesting. I understand the importance of it, but I've never put high priority importance on it. Right? We all do this on different areas of our life. I also hired a pretty cool guy. I'm excited. His name's Sam. He sold a company recently for 9 figures in a niche I'm in. in the media, newsletter, email space. Very big business. It's a pretty cool business model we have, but he sold one for over 9 figures. So I'm talking with him. I hired him for an hour. That's it. Just 1 hour, 1 hour. And we'll sit down and I have a list of questions. And I'm excited to hear his answers. See, the reason I'm sharing this with you is, one, it's not cheap dollar wise, but it's very affordable and smart to do something like this. Hire people. You know, it's interesting to me when people pay me 10 grand for an hour. I really don't even do it a lot like that anymore, just because I don't want to get paid hourly. I'd rather get paid on upside, paid zero or a lot. But, you know, when people are willing to share information at a high level in an industry that you're trying to grow in, and they've already exited it, you know, their time is very valuable. Their knowledge is very insightful, and it's worth a lot of money. So I'm at the game of life where I want to pay for speed. Some of you want to sit here and watch every YouTube video and try to figure it out on your own. Be my guest. I wrote about this in Magician vs. Mule. It's that guy that watches a YouTube video on how to change his catalytic converter on his car, and it takes him 72 days to do it. Missed a bunch of games. He can't hang out with his family. His hands are dirty. Breaks his knuckle. Million different things. But he got it done, and it was free. Right? Or someone that just calls AAA, gets their car dropped off. This is a magician moment, by the way. And then the car gets fixed, and you almost forgot it was even happening, but it's done. It's almost seamless. It's almost effortless, right? Some people are addicted to struggle. And today's show is going to talk a little bit about that, because I do believe what I'll share with you today, if you understand what I'm really saying, can help you excel very quickly. So enough said. Talk to me, Mark, right, about what do you mean you've never bought a Ferrari? You've bought any of your Rolls Royces or your houses all over the country and all that stuff. Well, it's true. I never have. My investments have. You see, I have delayed my gratification for a long time. I still do. I can pretty much damn near buy anything I want, but I don't do that because it's stupid and foolish. See, my goal in life has always been to be a great steward of money, right? I want to steward wealth at a high level. And to do so, you have to understand money. You have to understand economics. You have to understand how all this stuff works. In the beginning, I almost went bankrupt twice because I didn't have financial mentors. I didn't understand the importance of financial mentors. I understood how to get money, go make money mentors, but I didn't know how to keep it, protect it, and grow it. Truth is, I wouldn't change anything because I see a lot of people out there trying to figure out how to protect it and keep it, but they don't have anything to keep or protect because they spend all their time and energy on that action. I did the reverse. I learned how to make money, and then I learned how to protect and keep it, right? So I'm not saying either one's right or wrong. I'm just sharing what I did and what I would, do different. Like I wouldn't do anything different, except hire a financial coach that understood how to protect and keep it quicker. But what's interesting about this is I remember the first time I bought my Rolls Royce, my first Rolls. I was 30 years old. See, a lot of you don't know that. I bought my first Rolls 12 years after being an entrepreneur. I was already an entrepreneur. I had companies. I could have bought this Rolls Royce many, 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 many times over. And when I got it, I was already in the 16,000 square foot house in Georgia, which many of you've seen. We did the MTV Crib Style video where that house I turned, and that was 2008, but I learned how to turn my liabilities into an asset. Let me say it again. Once you understand how to turn your liabilities into an asset, the future's unlimited. The opportunities are everywhere. So when I got that 16,000 square foot mansion, let's say if it costs 20 grand a month to maintain, and then I got the Rolls, right? That's $300,000. What I would do is I would gamify the situation. And then I would become creative. I'm sitting at the coffee shop, at Starbucks in particular, and I would be sitting there thinking about who can pay for all this without me paying for it, right? So I created a thing called the Millionaire Mansion Experience, right? This didn't happen overnight. It took me a couple weeks, couple months, whatever. But I sit down and I was like thinking about it and stewing on it. And I was like, dude, if I went to a mentorship or a mastermind and the main person let me come to their house, that would like show me, like, it's never happened before. It would connect people at another level. So I called it the Millionaire Mansion Experience. And we would bring people, lots of people, every month to the house. So we would do a house party at night, the first night. Then we would do the event. And then we'd do another party. And then we'd do an event. So at the house. So they got to connect. They got to see it was real. And it was only $1,000 a ticket. But we sold a lot of tickets. They learned a lot. I still communicate with a lot of people that's come to the Millionaire Mansion Experience. So if that's one of you, thank you so much. You are part of this journey I'm talking about of turning your liabilities into an asset. And liabilities, just so we're clear, liabilities cost you money. Assets make you money. So when you're looking at the 16,000 square foot house, it's a massive house. Lots going on, right? You got everyone there, cleaners and lawn care. It just never ends. But I was sitting there thinking, like, I need to generate 40 grand a month from owning this house. How do I do it? And then it goes to work. Your brain starts working. Like, you could do a private mastermind group. You could do, do a party, do an event, whatever. Just started like writing down stuff. And then it hit me as like Millionaire Mansion Experience. And it was a huge success. Huge. I still will be doing them in the future because it was so fun. I got to meet so many great people. The only problem is getting your spouse on board to do something like this, right? This is, in particular on this, is they're coming into your house and your personal area. Like, your spouse has got to be cool with that. So anyways, I turned that into a 6-figure a month profit stream for me that paid for the house, that paid for the cars, that paid for the teams, that paid for the staff, that paid for the products, and there was still money left over. Think about that. And then when I start looking at how to buy a Ferrari or another Rolls or another Escalade or whatever we're buying, let's say the car is $350, and you got to go to work like, okay, I have the cash to buy it. And by the way, my rule already is just so you know, so we're very crystal clear. If I'm buying something for $350, I recommend you have at least 10x in cash in the bank to do so. That's just my recommendation. You don't have to do it, but these are rules I've created to build my life in confidence, for financial confidence, I should say. So if I'm buying something for $350, I'm thinking about, okay, $350,000, I need to generate $550 to do that, right? To net $350. Yes, you could turn it into a business asset. I mean, I'm not talking about tax stuff and all that. I'm just talking about simple math. $350. What can I create that can generate $350,000 over the next 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, whatever, to buy this car? So I have a picture of the car. I know what I want exactly. The color codes, the style, the year, everything. And now I'm getting to work. And now I'm getting down. I'm going to grab a pen and paper. I'm old school like that, pen and paper. And I'm going to ask myself, what value can I bring to the marketplace that is worth money, right? I have some business knowledge. I have some capital. Maybe I make an investment, right? Because it's not just about creating like a course or anything like that. I don't do a lot of that anyways. I don't do any courses, honestly. But like, I might do a mastermind. I might do a VIP experience. I might do consulting, but I do have capital, and I would start seeking different types of investments that could create this kind of income that I need. And I might take a percentage and get a little bit riskier, maybe look for a little bit faster revenue generator, or just be cool with the game plan or the strategy that is already set forth in front of us. So like, for example, true story, this week alone, I've made 2 massive investments. And when I say massive, multiple seven figures, that's massive to me. I know I'm still small time. My goal is to be doing massive, making 8 and 9 figure investments and 10 figure investments. Actually, this is 8 figures. These ones are, but whatever. So I make this investment, and then I create a royalty structure, and then I create an ROI structure, and then I create an equity participation structure. I might be getting paid 1, 2, 3, or 4, or always on these deals. Sometimes they're a little riskier than others. Sometimes there's not much risk at all because I understand the situation. I understand the players in the game, and I understand the game we're playing. But keep in mind, investing, there's always risk. Our job is to de-risk as much as possible. So one of these investments could buy me a lot of houses, a lot. And I'm not talking $100,000 houses, right? I'm talking houses in the 7 figures. It could buy multiple of those in 12 months. So, and again, I'm sharing real life shit with you. I'm not trying to impress but to impress upon. This is the thinking that I'm doing behind the scenes, right? So I'm trying to expose what's really going on. And by the way, it's not always fun. It's not always cool. It's not always sexy. And the truth is, I don't even fucking drive these cars that much at all, but I love them. I like cars. That's my thing. Maybe you like saunas. Maybe you like bicycles. I don't know what you like, but I do know I like cars, and I got more cars on order, and I'm going to have more cars on order next year that my investments are going to buy for me, right? I try to, by the way, I try to buy cars that are investments, not necessarily liabilities. More on that later. Back to the deal. So I'm making an investment, or I'm creating a company, or I'm buying a company, right? Yesterday, someone pitched me a deal where I could buy it for $180,000. It's netting $100,000 a year already, and the guy's just done. He's just looking to liquidate and sell and move on. The problem is, cool, I can make $100,000 a year, but I'd hire someone for 55 or 60 to run it, so I'd only net 40. That's if everything went well. I'm not looking to detract my focus on a $40,000 a year return. Not to say you should or shouldn't. I'm just saying, as you scale up, our job is to get more conscious of the types of deals you're looking at. If you want to make millions, you got to be focused on millions of dollars of deals, not tens of thousands of dollars of deals. It's just time. You just get spread too thin. So these particular deals, I look at them and I say, okay, I start plotting, by the way. That's what makes it fun for me. It's called gamifying. I gamify my structure. I can buy this one investment. I'm looking to do something with a piece of land as we speak right now, 2 pieces of land here where I live in Ohio. One's $1 million. The other one's $2.8 million, right? And then I start forecasting, okay, based off of the investment strategy that we're talking about and the returns we're looking at, potentially, I could potentially have these 2 properties secured and locked in X amount of days, weeks, months, or years. And then I start plotting. It starts getting fun to me. I start watching it work, right? It forces me to do the work I don't want to do, but I have to do it because I have something to accomplish, just like you, right? So I would ask yourself, and I'm not telling you guys to go sell your cars and houses, but I would challenge you to start asking yourself, how can I turn my liabilities into an asset? How can you turn your liabilities into an asset? And I'm not saying go do Toro with your car and lease it out. If you want to do that, you can. I'm more talking on the business aspect, right? Maybe you have a cool house. Maybe you have a cool office, right? Offices are expenses. If they're not producing revenue, they're an expense. So what if you did, events at your office once a month, once a week, once a quarter? You charge $500 or $5,000. I don't know the numbers and what your value is you could provide, but picture if 10 people a month paid you $3,000, that's $30,000 a month. Your office costs $10,000 a month. You net 20. Yes, you got to work. Yes, there's extra effort, but now you're producing revenue consciously, on purpose. More importantly, you're making connections with people in your office that could produce a lot more money because they're going to like you, trust you, understand how you work, what you like to do, etc., right? So I've done this, by the way, when I go on a yacht, right? The yacht costs 150 grand for the week. I might invite X amount of people. They pay X amount of dollars. And then I go out for 4 days by myself with my family for free. And the rest is covered by the people that come on board with me for 3 days. And we mastermind. It's a great value exchange for them because they don't have to pay the 150, right? They only have to pay maybe 25 or 30 grand. But most importantly, it's not just that, say, call it 30 grand. It's not just 30 grand for just the yacht. It's 30 grand for the yacht, the mentorship, the mastermind, the connections. Think about that. What would happen to your life or your business if you're sitting in a room with 5 or 6 people that paid $30,000 for 3 days to be there? Do you think you're talking about the fucking media and the news? Do you think you're talking about so-and-so sleeping with so-and-so? Or do you think you're talking about business, life, growth, expansion, execution, hiring, firing, eliminating, evolving, investing, financial literacy, etc.? That's why when you always hear these people like, dude, coaches changed my life, masterminds changed my life. Well, the mastermind effect is 100% without a shadow of a fucking doubt changes lots of people's lives. I don't know why most people fight it. You know, in the DM Alliance, it's only $1,000 a month. If you saw the fucking testimonials I get over there every single week, you'd be kicking yourself for not being a part of the DM Alliance. It's only, yes, only $1,000 a month. That's only $250 a week. That's like hiring me for like pennies. Not just me, but 100 other people that you have access to connect, to evolve with. Like one deal, one connection over the next 12 months could pay for that thing 100 years over. But do you believe in yourself to make these kind of investments? That's the other side of what we're talking about here today. See, I have the confidence to charge someone $5,000 to come and hang out for a day. Do you? $5,000 is a steal. 10 people come into the room. It's $5 grand. Oh, but Mark, you're making 50 grand. Dude, I make 50 grand already. But it's great to make 50 grand with 10 people because the 10 people that come, there's deals that are inside of those deals for all of us. See, the thing is what's your value? Why am I confident to do that? Well, I've spent millions of dollars on myself. I know what I'm worth. And sometimes when I know what I'm worth, someone pays me 100 grand, they go out and make $20 million. I'm like, maybe I'm worth a little bit more than 100 grand. Right? That's how it works. Whatever's in your bank account, whatever you charge is what you're worth. That's the facts. But man, I'm worth so much more. Prove it. Prove it. Get the money in the bank. Have people hand over their hard-earned money to you to show you. So what I like to do, again, picture if you have 10 people pay you $5 grand, they come in for a day. You just generated $50,000. You do that once a month, which is not hard to do at all if you have something going on and you have value. That's 600 grand a year right there. That could easily buy me a Ferrari. And I'm not saying all this stuff happens without working. Some of these are active income streams to produce revenue, to take that active income, turn it into passive income, or at least active, and go buy the asset or the investment or the car or whatever I'm trying to buy. You know, one thing that's really mind-boggling, and I don't know if you know this or not yet, depending where you're at in the journey of life. When you can accomplish the thing you're going after, and then you finally hit the financial means to do it, it becomes less important. I'm not saying, like, there's lots of things I always wanted that I could easily have today, and I've moved on beyond it. It was more of the chase to get, not necessarily to gain, just to have. I don't want to have things just to have things. I want to have things that have meaning and purpose. I was a different person 10 years ago when I wanted X. Now I can have X, but I really don't want it anymore. Does that make sense? It's funny, when I met my wife, her dream car was a Mitsubishi Eclipse convertible. Well, when she got with me, that was a car I wanted when I was 18, not when I was 27, right? And again, I evolved. I always knew, keep in mind, I like cars, so I always liked cars. You know, the Range Rovers, the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, you know, Maseratis and all these things. And everything I just said, we've had, right? So it's like, it's hard to go backwards. I ain't going from a fucking Ferrari 488 back to a Mitsubishi Eclipse, right? So, and again, if that's your thing, go back to the Eclipse, whatever. I'm just using this as a mindset piece to show you that you have to work your ass off to get what you want, but the real work's in your brain. Like I said, when I'm sitting at the coffee shops and saying, I want to buy a new X, how can I have someone else pay for it? By the way, this money is not yours or mine. It's someone else's. The money that's in your account today was not yours. You weren't born with it. You had to go earn it. You had to go make it. You had to go get it, right? So I'm looking at paths and strategies. This is how I've been involved and own and or a part of many, many businesses now in my life, is because I'm thinking of ways to generate revenue constantly. I spend 95 to 98% of my life thinking about revenue. See, I always heard this saying, most people are spending their time trying to spend zero, right? They're trying to reduce their monthly cell phone bill. They're trying to reduce their staff bill, all this stuff. But the problem is you can only go to zero. That's it. See, when you focus on revenue, you could literally make more money than you ever thought is possible. So if you're trying to make 100 grand this week, and then I get really good at what I'm doing, and now I'm making 500 grand, 700 grand, $1 million, $2 million in a week, you can't compete with me because you're too busy trying to save to zero. Zero, it stops. With earning potential, it's unlimited. It genuinely is unlimited. I want you to really fucking think about what I just said. Why everyone, the majority, when I say everyone, the majority of the world is got such a hard-on to save $2.40 on their cell phone bill, to go to the gas station and save 12 cents a gallon for sit in line for 3 hours, to do all these stupid fucking things to save pennies, trying to save pennies. Even if you save hundreds, you can only save to zero, and it stops. But you exhausted so much mental energy to get to zero. Why not take the same fucking energy and focus on revenue generating money? If your bills are $3,000 a month and you make $500,000 a month, does it matter if it's $3,000 or $5,000 or zero? It doesn't fucking matter. It's the same shit. But we get caught up because we start, oh, dude, I'm so abundant. Are you? Because all your actions are not abundant actions. They're the opposite. They're very scared actions. You're playing the game of fear. So again, I just want to be clear, you can only save to zero. Your earning potential is unlimited. The best gift I've ever given myself in my life, ever, is giving myself the permission to invest in myself, believe in myself, and go out and earn money. I don't have stress like the majority of the world does because they're afraid they don't know how to earn money. They know how to work for money, but they don't know how to earn wealth, right? They never exhausted their brain to learn it. I'm not knocking. I'm just talking the truth. So when you came on the show, you're thinking, I fucking knew it. He rented the Ferrari. He rented the Rolls Royces. He rented the houses. Well, that's not the case. The real truth is everything I have the slips. That's the truth. I've talked about it openly. I have financial PTSD. I almost went bankrupt once when my truck got repoed right before my eyes. It was one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. My neighbor's like, "What's going on, Mark?" "Oh, I got to get new tires," or something like bullshit lie. It was getting repoed. So from that point forward, I said if I was going to get a car, I would own the car. Not the bank, not a finance company, no one else but me, myself. Yes, it doesn't make sense financially sometimes because you can get money at 2% for cars or whatever. But you know what? I can go to bed at night knowing I'm not going to fucking wake up and that car's rolling out the driveway because I didn't pay the bill. See, the thing is what motivates you, what drives you. That's what you got to be focused on. Because what I'm sharing with you is my stuff. Maybe you grab one piece here, one piece there, say, dude, he's full of shit there, but I like that there. See, the thing is, that's what these shows are meant to be. I'm just sharing my real life with you. My agenda is nothing more but to help, but to share like what's going on in this crazy fucking mind of mine. I want you to earn more money. I don't want you to live in scarcity. I want you to live in abundance. I want you to figure out a plan of how you can spend $1 million on yourself, on your literacy, on your financial literacy, getting around mentors, mastermind groups, etc. See, who's telling you to go invest $1 million in yourself? Well, man, you got something to sell. I don't want your fucking money. I want you to do it for yourself. I want you to find someone that you can roll with and invest in yourself. Invest and learn how to do marketing. Invest in how to do ads. Invest in how to do copywriting. Invest in how to do website development. Invest in how to do SEO. Invest in how to invest in private banking. Invest in yourself. You're the best investment. You are, my friend. And when you really understand that, and more importantly, do it and execute it. And by the way, when you make this investment, that doesn't mean you make the investment in yourself and that's it. Everything just happens. No, that's when the real fucking work starts. Because what you're going to have to do is deprogram to learn new data, learn new information. As you know, I talk about this in The Magician vs. Mule about thought auditing and the economy. Thought auditing is a real thing. You're going to have to unprogram all your old thoughts and then reprogram them with new ones. Because what grandma, grandpa, mom, and dad, and all the fucking broke people has told you all your life, school teachers, etc., it's garbage. It's not serving you. You know it. I know it. But what are you going to do about it? And this sounds easier said than done, but you have to really think about and say, dude, money doesn't grow on trees. Oh, well, okay. I don't know what that means, but whatever. There's lots of money out there. The fucking printing presses are nonstop, right? So go get it. Someone's got your money over there. But you have to deprogram this stuff. You have to start seeing things through different sets of lenses. See, the thing is, if you're trying to build your business out of your bank account, you're stalling your growth all the time. If you're trying to buy a car and finance it to the hill, or buy an investment asset and finance it to the hill, you're always stunting your growth. Because you're assuming you're good at handling or managing debt loads like that out of the gate. I'm not a fan of it, right? You have to understand good debt and bad debt, yes, but also you have to understand what makes you tick, what slows you down, what speeds you up. Because what speeds you up might slow me down, and what slows me down might speed you up, and vice versa, right? So awareness, entrepreneur awareness is a real thing. And until you really understand what I'm saying, you're going to be on the struggle bus. And this is something that it's continuous, by the way. I'm still learning. I'm still like, why didn't I catch that? I need to get better here, right? Etc. So understand this. Whatever you want in life can be paid for by others. 100%. I'm not talking theory. I live it. And again, this isn't a dick swinging contest. This isn't about bragging. It's the truth. And I'm sharing the truth with you as I always have. I want you to have the best life possible. I want you to get the money because it's going to enhance who you are. And hopefully in any way, shape, or form, I can touch you in a little way to help you give back more to yourself, to the community, and accomplish more in your life. That's the greatest joy for me. But I want you to think about what liabilities do you have that you can turn into an asset. If I had a boat on a lake, that's an asset. That's a liability, right? Costs money to park it, costs money to, fuel it, costs money to manage it, costs money to buy it, all this shit. I'd be asking myself, how do I turn this thing into a money-making machine? I don't care if you're on a big lake or a small lake. I'd ask, what are my skill sets? What would people pay for? What could I organize? Maybe you do a 2-day lake event. Bring people out to the lake. You go fishing from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Go have lunch. And then from 12 to 4, you go mastermind. Maybe you're a technology guru. Maybe you're an email guru. Maybe you're a cell phone guru, like cold calling guru. Whatever it is, get a group of people together. Have them pay to come to this experience. My buddy's doing it right now as we speak today. He has 35 people that are out fishing on a lake. And then when they get done fishing, they go back and they scale it and they flay it up and cook it up. While the chef's doing that, they're in a room masterminding and networking and connecting the dots in Mississippi. They turn their passion into profit. They love fishing. They love connecting with people. And they'll make 50, 60, 70 grand on that deal over 2 days. Think about this. Yes, you got to sell people in the room. Yes, you got to provide massive value. Yes, you got to follow up with them, etc. Yes, they got to get results. That's what keeps them coming back. But isn't that to be expected? Don't think you do nothing and get rich. All this stuff you see that I have, I've worked my ass off to get it and will continue to do so. There's no get rich quick in my world. Never has, never will. But you know what's in my world? Get rich definitely. Because I know what it takes to succeed. I know what it takes. It will never go as fast as you want it to go. It will never go as planned ever. If you think you're going to make $1 million, you better go make $2 million to collect $1 million. That's the way real business works. And unfortunately, most of you are trying to do less to get more. And you haven't even got any. It makes zero sense to me. I want you to get on the other side of joy. By the way, when you're crushing it, when you have all these daily habits and you're going out and helping all these great people and doing what you do, your confidence, your life, and your bank account will appreciate you for it. It gives you so much more oomph in your step. It's very powerful. So take it, run with it. I'm glad I could share this with you. I hope this makes sense because we talked about a lot of stuff. But I would like you to private message me on Instagram at Mark Evans DM. Let me know, please, what liability you're going to turn into an asset. And more importantly, how. What are you going to create or implement as quickly as humanly possible to turn a liability into an asset? So again, what liability do you have that you're going to turn into an asset? And what is the plan to execute to turn that into the asset? Let me know. Keep me posted. Keep kicking ass and taking names. So with that said, make the day count. Peace.
I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. From a small town in Ohio, so I know how it is. And I come from a lot of money. I remember as a kid, wanted to make 100 racks. Didn't see no one making more than that. Graduated high school with a 1.8. They should've held me back. I hope my principals and teachers are alive just to witness this. I'm my own boss. I'm out here running 2-8-figure businesses. I can walk away from it all and I'll be good, but I've been called to help people just like y'all learn the game. It's time to ball. Everybody chasing the money, but I'm not chasing the money. I'm out here chasing the purpose. Yo, I've been working my whole life. What got us where we at isn't gonna get us where we wanna go. So it's time to push, time to learn, time to grow. I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no no question, Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. It's time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. I'm Mark Evans, deal maker, deal maker, deal maker, deal maker, DM project.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.